We got a few injury updates. A couple of Chicago Bulls players that have gone down for injury over the last couple of days. With the game going down tomorrow on Monday, wanted to catch everything up on this late night episode for Chicago Bulls Central. We're going to catch up on it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm still adjusting to the new intro music. I almost switched it back today. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I almost switched it back to the original intro music earlier today. But that's just because I don't like change. I'm old. But with that said, one thing that we do need to change for the Chicago Bulls is the current injury status to a few Chicago Bulls. Now, that's not going to change anytime soon. This is still the Chicago Bulls, which means we're going to be dealing with injury concerns all throughout the season. It's just basketball season. It happens. But we got a couple of updates, not major ones, right? But we do got a couple of updates that I do want to go over. So first up, looks like Patrick Williams did get an x-ray at halftime of last game, which all came back negative. Billy Donovan did mention that he's not sure if the wrist injury impacted Patrick Williams' shooting or not. Patrick Williams hasn't really shot good throughout most of the offseason, so I don't know how much that would have impacted his shooting one way or another personally, but it is good that the x-rays came back negative. The last thing that we need for another Patrick Williams season is to start off with another injury, right? We don't want that. Like, at this point, it's like every other season. Patrick Williams plays a lot of games. He misses a lot. He plays most of the games. He misses a lot. And so, we're in the season where we should be getting a lot of Patrick Williams. And this is a season as well where Patrick Williams needs to stay on the court as much as possible. Not only to continue to adapt and to get over, the injury that he had last offseason, to go ahead and keep getting back in rhythm, but also because this is a season that's highly important for Patrick Williams' growth, right? Yes, he's still at times the fourth and or fifth option on offense. I actually think he's getting more shots than Vooch out there, so he's kind of more the fourth option on offense right now. But this is preseason, so that doesn't mean it's going to maintain that way during the regular season. This is an important season for Patrick Williams, and if he can't step up this season, like I said, I don't know how much longer Patrick Williams is. Like, let me be clear. The Patrick Williams experiment, this is the thing that I got to tell you guys, right? For the people that talk about Patrick Williams and call him a bust, he's not. He's just not living up to the expectations of another 4 overall pick. But Patrick Williams as an NBA player, and he's shown his ability to be, at least at the very minimum, a role player for a long time in the NBA. That's not a bust. Now, that may not be up to the expectations, but to me, that's not a bust. He's not a bust, right? But the fact of the matter is that the guys that have come in and gotten drafted after Patrick Williams are showing more edge. And as they grow and adapt, if they keep growing, if they keep hitting new leaps and things like that, with Modest Bucilla's weight, especially in his first NBA season, the weight that he puts on and the way that he acclimates defensively and shooting wise, if Patrick Williams can't stay ahead of the curve is going to pass him up. And that's just the way that it is in the NBA. Like, that's just the way that it is. And so the potential of these guys that are now behind Patrick Williams has reached such a level that if you keep ignoring it, well, the Bulls aren't going to keep ignoring it. While they're going younger and players fit their mindset and the mentality that they want to play in, that's just what it is. And again, let me be clear here. I'm not saying that Patrick Williams is a bust, that the Bulls are going to trade him away. Some people saying ridiculous things like cut him. That's not going to happen. But it just becomes at some point you have to stop prioritizing a player's development and just realize that this is who he is. And let's hope that that's not the case. Patrick Williams still an extremely young guy. He's 23 years old, I think. Just turned 23 in August. So he's still a guy that has a lot of time left to grow. And I get it why, and I understand. I want to be clear here. I understand the Bulls fans that look at Patrick Williams and say, I'm done. I'm over the Patrick Williams experiment. I'm done with it. Get Modest in there. Get Julian Phillips in there. Let's worry about all that other shit later. I understand you guys, so I'm not saying that I don't. But the fact of the matter is we just saw a player in Coby White hit his biggest year in his growth at age 24. I would assume was 25 years old, right? And we know that but the fact is that these guys have shown steady progression. Patrick Williams has basically been the same player basically since he's come into the NBA. The 10 points per game, the solid shooting, the solid defense. I love the defense that Patrick Williams showed in the last game. Love it. Love it, especially playing small ball center. He played great defense. And keep in mind, some of you guys say that Patrick Williams can't play the four. He was out there defending centers. So defensively, Patrick Williams and his ability to shoot the three ball is always going to be something that keeps him in the NBA. He's not going to be one of those players that's out of the NBA. It's just that you go from looking at this guy as what his potential was as a fourth overall pick, and then eventually shifts to the realization you're a role player. Cool. Play your role. But we got guys behind you now that are leapfrogging you because they are showing that they may be more than role players. And that's the risk that you run it in, right? And so we'll see what happens with that. But overall, glad Patrick Williams, the x-ray was negative. Hopefully he's no soreness. I wouldn't be surprised maybe if he sits in Monday's game if there's any type of soreness. The Bulls aren't playing with injuries. If you're sore, if anything that could get aggravated, the Bulls are basically sitting you. So we'll see as that report comes out for the Chicago Bulls if he's going to end up playing on Monday. But that's the update for Patrick Williams. Coby White, promising update for Coby White. So seems like the tightness in with his groin is still there per the last report. It may keep him out another game. And as I said with Coby White, if the Bulls sit him in the rest of the preseason, I really don't care. He's shown that already in one preseason game. He's still Coby White. He's still very much picking up where he left off on last year. I think the bigger thing for Coby in this preseason is him getting reps with Josh Giddey, him getting reps, being more off ball, being now that 2 instead of that 1. Those are the things that you're looking for from Coby White. But ultimately, like, we know who Coby is. We know where Coby is in the pecking order. I really don't think that's up for question. Or there's going to be anything that changes the answer to that question in preseason. But ultimately, you want him to steady progress as well. And so with Coby White, the expectations and kind of some of the doubt around Coby White as well, not from internally. I think most Bulls fans believe that Coby White and what he showed last season is something that's going to be able to be sustainable, right? The questions that we have as Bulls fans is how much further can you take that, right? Was that a base or was that a cap, right? That's the question for Coby White's season last year. Was that now your new ceiling? Or was that a new base for you? And we're going to see you continually start building off and refining what you did last year. So that's a question for Coby. Again, acclimating to playing with Josh Giddey, back to playing with Zach LaVine as well. Those are some things that you want to look at for Coby White. But ultimately, Coby's going to be what Coby has always been. And that's not what he's always been, what he's been last year. He's going to be a solid scorer. He's going to give energy. He's going to give effort. He's going to do all those type of things. And we're just going to continue seeing him grow and develop as well. So, that's the thing. Dosunmu. So Ayo did get a shoulder stinger is what it was reported as in yesterday's game. He wanted to come back into the game. So feeling pretty good. The medical staff decided to sit him out. To me, what that says is that, again, this medical staff isn't taking any risk. They're just not taking any risk with any of their players in preseason. And I, for one, appreciate that. Right. The Bulls are fighting for more. Right. And while us selfishly as fans, of course, we want to see our favorite players play. Of course, we want to see our players take the court. We want to see all of that. But for a coaching staff, a medical staff, a franchise that is trying to figure out what you have in these guys so you can start building going forward, they can take a different view on it. So, I'm glad that they set them out. The last thing you want is to re-aggravate anything or make it worse. And listen, Ayo Dosunmu, he may be the Bulls' identity. And by that, I mean this. The same way that Joakim Noah was the Bulls' identity, I can see Ayo Dosunmu being that as well. He's just that type of guy on the court. He's that type of guy on the court. And he takes on that leadership role and he holds it to such a high degree. He takes it seriously. And that's what you want to see. Like, Ayo isn't just one of those guys where it's like, yeah, I got a bunch of young guys on my team now. Y'all going to listen to me. We're going to do it this way because I know it. I've been here. No, he's a guy that relishes in that. It's like, hey, I'm stepping into this leader. Trust me. I'm going to give it all out on the court. Hell, he hurt his shoulder diving after a loose ball in a preseason game, right? So, Ayo and the positivity, the positiveness around just his game and everything else, it is what it is when it comes down to it, man. And then lastly, Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith with his knee injury does not seem like it's anything that's serious, but it is something that could linger. Meaning that we could see another game of no Jalen Smith, just because the Bulls want to make sure that knee, there's nothing in there that's giving them any cause for concern long term. And that could be something that the Bulls just want to keep reevaluating. And we're going to see how he looks tomorrow in shooting round. I'm sure it's probably going to be a game time decision when it's all down to it. But these are all Bulls role players, right? I mean, players that are key in the Bulls rotation. So the Bulls aren't going to take anything lightly. Like all four of these guys, Patrick Williams, Coby White, Dosunmu, Jalen Smith, these are all guys who are going to play a lot of minutes for the Chicago Bulls. So I appreciate that the Bulls aren't taking this lightly at all with any of these guys. They are really in the building and in the business of maintaining these guys and making sure that at the start of the season, when this season starts for the Chicago Bulls, that's where they want to make sure that these guys are going to be healthy at. All right. It's not about a preseason game in early October for the Bulls right now. It's about, are these guys going to be ready in the end of October? They're going to be ready in November. They're going to be ready for those type of things. That's what this Bulls team is really kind of focusing on right now. And there's still benchmarks and things that you can do to improve for that. But that's what they're really monitoring at. We're 10 days away from the start of the actual NBA season. October 23rd in New Orleans, that's when the Bulls take the court in their first regular season game. The Bulls in those 10 days want to make sure that everybody is as healthy as they need to be. And that's just what it is, right? So these next 10 days, you may see guys play not a lot of minutes. You may see guys sit a game. You may see guys not play at all. And over the course of that time, that's cool, right? Because the key thing, what the Bulls are mainly looking at is October 23rd. Is everybody fully healthy and they're able to take the court if we need them to? My wrist. I don't know what I did to my wrist. So that's what this Bulls team is really looking for. So, that's what we'll see what happens, man, when it comes down to it. And overall, I just wanted to bring you guys those quick updates. Wanted to sit and chill with my people. Let's see how you guys are feeling today. What up, Haize? What's going on, Skiz? Glad to have you in the building. Omar's in the building as well. What's good, Haize? What's going on, Immortal? Dion Allen. P. Will has a hurt personality. More mindset than personality. Fifth. What? Fifth. I plead the fifth. What's good, my brother? Go Bulls. What's going on, Junior? David Healy, love from Ireland, bro. Appreciate you. For my people. My people originate from Ireland. So there you go. That's where the red hair and freckles come from. So I know it doesn't really show up on camera when I got on black, but yeah. P. Will sprung his enthusiasm. You killing P. Will, Dion. What's the word, Haize? What's going on, Randall? Glad to have you in the building. Dan, we can't catch a break. Anyway, are you pulling up to the Derrick Rose celebration at the UC on January 4th? See what happens. I'm not ruling. Here's the thing. For those that don't know, right? I'm a solo parent. It's just me and my kids, right? Their mother lives 400 miles away, and I have one family member here in the city that I live. So it's not as easy for me to maneuver back and forth to Chicago like I want to. So we'll see. It depends on what happens with the children. It depends on things. I just, even if I don't go to the game, I would just love to be in the city for that weekend. But it's also a holiday weekend. I think that's the weekend before they go back to school. So we'll see what happens. I'm not ruling it out. It's not in the plans right now. So I'm going to be clear here. I have no plans in place right now. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. I can't say that I'm done with Patrick Williams because I've seen him go off for almost 40 at times. It's just he's had a lot of bad luck. I'm not going to lie. Well, it's not even the bad luck. The bad luck is the bad luck. You can take that out of the case. The bigger concern with Patrick Williams, and listen, going for 40, and he's done that both times, I think, in the last games of the season against teams that weren't playing their starters, all their starters down the stretch. Corey Brewer went off for 50. That doesn't mean anything, right? It's about the mindset and the mentality that he has day to day. Now, defensively, P. Will is a dog, but sometimes P. Will falls asleep offensively, so we'll see. We'll see. After seeing how James Johnson and seeing how Lauri Markkanen turned out, I'm looking to try to move on from Patrick Williams just so quickly. James Johnson turned into a role player. He didn't do anything but turn into a role player. That's it. Let's not act like James Johnson went away and all of a sudden became a great player on teams. He became a decent role, and he was that with the Chicago Bulls. Now, Lauri Markkanen, cool, but Lauri Markkanen is basically turned into 7-foot Zach LaVine. He puts up a lot of points and a lot of great numbers, but his teams don't win shit. So while I get it, and make no mistake about it, what Lauri and how he's been able to round out his game and building confidence has been huge. But let's not act like Lauri Markkanen's winning a bunch of basketball games solely. He's not. Lauri Markkanen is not a star, even a star level player. He's right now proving himself to be a player that can score in the NBA. He can put up points and numbers. He hasn't really done much other than that. Patrick Williams dropped 35 one time versus Toronto. At times means more than one game. Listen, Shay's a prisoner of the moment usually, but that's my little brother. It is what it is. Modest should start over P. Will. No, Modest, see, here's the thing. And I had this conversation with Winton Mahorn in the comment section. Modest Bucilis his shooting isn't as consistent, and his on-ball defense, he doesn't have the size yet, right? I do think that Manas Busilis can start if the Bulls absolutely need to move on to a different player at power forward. But it's not a must that Manas Busilis starts right now. Now, I do think that and I've said this many times before as well, I think with the type of mentality that Manas Busilis has, it may be best for him to get cooked defensively a couple times. Because if he gets cooked defensively a couple of times, the way that Manas Busilis attacks it, he ain't going to let it happen too many times. He ain't going to let it happen too many times. I want to believe he'll have the same growth as Ayo and Coby, but he makes it hard to. Listen, I don't give up on a player early. I'm not somebody who, be like, oh, well, you're 4 years into the league and 23, it's done. You're going to be a bust. No. I mean, we've seen it happen here, right? We've seen it happen for players that have left us. So I honestly, Patrick Williams, before I completely give up on Patrick Williams, probably another 2 seasons. But then even then, I know that what Patrick Williams has shown, he can be a solid role player on any team. Like he just can't be that. So, we'll see. People needs to have a more aggressive mindset. He's great at moving without the ball, slashing to the rim, but hopefully he doesn't rush his 3-point shots anymore. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not just talking about that game. He's had other games where he's actually went off, and it wasn't against the Toronto Raptors, it was against the Minnesota Timberwolves. That was one game, though, and that was the last game of the season when, Ant played. But other than that, that was it. Love you, Haize, man. What's going on, Del? We're glad to have you in the building. A lot of people's dislike for Zach really need to be on Patrick Williams. No, because, hey, you shouldn't even dislike Patrick Williams. Like, Patrick Williams is who he is. Like, there's no point in being upset at it. He didn't draft himself number 4 overall. That's a mistake that the Bulls made if he doesn't end up working out. I'll learn from Alex on what he needs to do on defense. Now, Ayo Dosunmu has always been a really good defender. Always been a really good defender. All due respect to Shea, it's crazy you can only list one other game he went off. 10 days and Julian is our best wing so far. I'm nervous. You shouldn't be, because like I said before, at the end of the day, this season for the Bulls, it's not necessarily built for us to win a lot of basketball games. And if we don't, we keep our top 10 pick, right? Being in the middle is the worst place to be. So I think that if this ends up going left for the Bulls, it just goes left. It is what it is. William Water says it's been the ears for Pat. The ears? Oh, what's between the ears? Why did I miss a whole word there? I have no idea. The ability is absolutely there. He needs to be coached tougher. Billy needs to stay. No, see, that's the thing. Not everybody responds to being coached tough. Patrick Williams' personality doesn't seem to me like somebody who respond to being coached tough. You can put Tom Thibodeau and Patrick Williams. I just, at the end of the day, Patrick Williams has to want it for himself. And at some point, we got to stop assuming that coaches aren't doing their job in coaching, and maybe it's just the player or the environment. Maybe it's the role. Maybe Patrick Williams is the type of player who needs for a team to say, we're going to run 12 plays for you this game. 12 plays. That's 12 shots at the bare minimum you're getting. We're running, and you better shoot those fucking shots on those 12 plays. Maybe he needs that. Maybe. P. Will still makes rookie mistakes. He doesn't learn from mistakes. This team looks sloppy when he's on the floor. I got to disagree with that. Not always when he's on the floor. Sometimes the team looks sloppy because the team is sloppy as a whole. Pat has the body of a lion and the mindset of that's why y'all killing Patrick Williams so much. What up, Haize? The Bears are winning and the Bulls medical staff are looking out for the players. What is it in Chicago? Listen, during media day when Josh Giddey was like, yeah, I trust the Bulls medical staff, I was like, you sure you want to say that? You sure that's what you want? That's what you want to go on record for? All right. Tanaka ain't here, though. I think Pat wants to be a great player. I think his defense first guy, and that will unlock his confidence. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. The fact that you have your kids a lot really makes me happy because it's a lot of women out here that really don't give me a lot of credit, men of credit for being amazing fathers. And I don't have them a lot. I have them, period. Like, that's just it. My kids are with me 99% of the time. Now, I'm not going to say that their mother doesn't get them. She does. Holidays, half summer breaks, she tries to. Anytime they have an extended break from school. But the day-to-day, they're with me. And that's not a slight to anybody. But, like, that just is what it is. That's the life we live. Oh. I wish P. Will had a no mentality. That's crazy. Hey, listen, that'd be crazy. What's up, Haize? Would you like to talk one-on-one? I would like to introduce myself, and I'm in a wheelchair. What? Huh? Trying to take me out on a date? You on that Diddy shit? Trying to take me shopping? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking with you, bro. Hey, Hayes, what's wrong with P. Will playing consistently aggressive? Is it confidence, position, match, or it's not? It's not position. People who say that it's because P. Will is power forward and not small forward are just using that as a narrative, not fact. Patrick Williams is given the same production basically everywhere he's ever played. What does P. Will do well that should keep him in the starting lineup? Shooting three-pointer, effective three-point shooting for a team that needs three-point shooting. Yeah, he doesn't take a huge volume, but a 40% three-point shooter you need out there, and defense consistently. In this lineup, you need defense. He's right now the defensive anchor in the projected starting lineup. There's no other defensive anchor out there. For everybody that's saying that a rookie needs to start over Patrick Williams, you have to remember something. A lot of these power forwards will probably eat his ass up. Listen, leave the Diddy juice alone, bro. Leave the Diddy juice alone. Stop putting melatonin in your shots because he's not big. No Diddy. You said no Diddy at the end of that. See, I should have read the whole comment. It looks like Terry and Phillips have improved more than Pat. I am Coby. Agreed. As of right now, if we're talking about who's progressed the most from where they came in the league at, right? So I'm not even talking about where they are comparatively to each other. But if you're just looking at where they came in at the league and how far have they moved from that spot that they came in the league from, Coby's come further. Io's come further. Julian has looked like he's come. Again, we got to see it in the regular season. We're just preseason so far. But Julian looks like he's had. Dalen Terry looks like he's had. These guys have progressed further from where they started off their NBA careers more than where Patrick Williams has. Patrick Williams started at a 5. He's probably at like a 6.5 now, right? And that's just where it is. That's just where it is. I forget when P. Will went off from 3, but to raise to over 40 after that start, he had a great streak before New Jersey. He did have December of last year. Patrick Williams had a great streak. Primo Cup. Oh, that's not funny. I think Patrick Williams needs to do like Alex Caruso and just move it at the ball on the offensive end. And 9 times out of 10, he's probably will get open shots and will get easy baskets. Yes, Patrick Williams just needs to consist at this team, right? With now having a passer like Josh Giddey there and Coby White, having both those guys out there on the court at any time, just cut to the rim. Just keep moving. Go after the rebound. Try to get putbacks where you can. Attack closeout. Like to hear Julian Phillips say, one thing that I wanted to do for my rookie year to this year was attack closeout better. And us to see him do it. We see that he's doing it better. We'll see. The guys who train with DeMar more improve more confidence is high. I don't put that on DeMar. Height-wise, P. Will is slightly undersized at power forward, but he does have – no, he's not. Patrick Williams is the average size of a modern power forward. He's almost 6'9", with a 7-foot wingspan. And he's now almost 240 pounds. He's a power forward. And he could play power forward. The physicality isn't the problem for Patrick Williams. Not going to lie, it's a shame Phillips has the aggression I want Patrick to stay with. I mean, it's not a shame. Because it'd be a shame if Julian wasn't on our team. Why is it a shame? He's on our team. We get to benefit from it, right? So it is what it is, man, when it comes down to it. Man. I don't know what's going on with my wrist. Do you see Monis, Dalen, and Julian challenging for starting? I can't say that. We got to make it through this season. First. I can't project. I will say this, that they are contending for spots in the rotation for sure. And that's what I want. If you go to my season previews, what I wanted to see from Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips was to them to show, hey, you at least got to think about playing me before Torrey Craig, right? And they've definitely done that. Are we even surprised, though, gang? Before he was drafted, didn't they say Patrick loves to knit sweaters or grow flowers? Yeah, flowers, but that doesn't mean anything on the basketball court. Like, that just does not mean that. Nate Robinson knitted. Ben Gordon did drugs. He was still a dog on the court. I mean, I'm just saying, like, we got to, like, people could do the things that they want to in their free time. It doesn't necessarily mean what they are. Those old man wrist pains, bro, it sucks. Like, maybe I got carpal tunnel. Maybe I'm developing that. He's power forward degree, just 1 inch, meant slightly undersized, just slightly. He needs to get some rebounds at time. Yeah, he definitely needs to become a better rebounder. That's for damn sure. All right, guys, I just wanted to come and do this quick live. I wanted to rap with you guys about those injury updates. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, as always, and supporting the channel the way that you guys do. Make sure you guys are following the channel at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to, no, he hasn't been 6'7" since literally he got drafted. Patrick Williams is 6'8.5". Go and look at Hoops OMG, where the Bulls updated his height before every training camp. Patrick Williams is almost 6'9". He hasn't been 6'7" in years. That just is what it is. You're going off ESPN. ESPN literally has not updated Patrick Williams and many other players' information since the draft combine. Patrick Williams is almost 6'9". You can see it out there. Manas Busilis is almost 6'9", and Patrick Williams is slightly taller than him. So no, Patrick Williams has been almost 6'9" for a couple of years now. Don't go off ESPN. ESPN doesn't update shit for a while. They don't even have Dalen Terry's current height right. So no, Patrick Williams has not been 6'7" literally since the draft combine. He's 6'8.5" and almost 200, and he's 236 pounds. He's put on 14 pounds of muscle this offseason. He hasn't been 6'7" in a while. So you got to see, this is where we got to educate ourselves, especially as podcasters. When we give out information, we got to hold ourselves to a different standard on making sure that our information is up to date, because people come to us for the information because places like ESPN that you should be able to trust don't have their shit right. So just we got to update our thinking. We got to make sure what we say and we give out to people is correct. So that's all I'm saying on that one. But all right, I love you guys, man. Make sure you guys are following the channel at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, y'all. Peace. Not the Bulls website. Hold on. See, this is where I got to start proving people wrong. Hold on. I don't even know if I should be showing you this. This is a media site. What does this say here? Listen, this is the Chicago Bulls media website. So y'all don't have access to this. This is shit that y'all don't have. Y'all see that? 6'8", 235 pounds. Klay Thompson weight? Where? So, yes, Patrick Williams, who was 19 years old when he got drafted, has grown since then. That's all I'm saying. But all right, love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, y'all. Peace.
Presentation of the Break Media.